right back at you guys again. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thank you for subscribing. Thank you to all my returning subscribers. Trying to get a few videos knocked out here. As you can see, the title of the video. I actually used to live in El Paso. I have a brother that still resides there. He retired out the military there. For anybody who's affiliated with the military, that is Fort Bliss. I actually did my junior year of high school at Urban High School in El Paso, Texas. So that's a little bit of tidbit, little history about myself, TJ the Advocate. But I'm bringing you this. There was an article in The Guardian, and I'm going to play a video, but there was an article in The Guardian, and it was saying that inmates, and you probably have seen this circulating all over the social media, but inmates are moving bodies in the morgue as COVID deaths soar in El Paso, Texas. And this actually started November the 9th of this year. And it started as a volunteer basis. You know, the inmates actually volunteered. They were tested and had to be quarantined for 2 weeks and are supposed to be quarantined for 2 weeks upon returning. These inmates are getting paid $2 an hour. That's how much of a shortage of manpower and essential workers that they have in El Paso. Now, mind you, that's a military base, Fort Bliss. Fort Bliss is right there with El Paso, Texas. I'm not sure why there's such a, I don't know. I don't know. There's such an influx in death. They say since March, there have been 800 plus deaths in El Paso. And they said that there are 9 inmates who are actually moving the bodies. For me, the first question that came to mind, again, I'm a veteran. I'm also a person in long-term recovery. So I've had some incarceration. I had a couple of felonies. So again, I'm totally transparent. But for me, where's the outcry? Where's the public outcry for using these inmates versus essential trained workers? I get it that they volunteered, but these people are in a position to where maybe some of them hadn't had the opportunity to where family members are sending them money. So it's an opportunity for them to maybe get some money on their books. You mean to tell me that you are willing to jeopardize human lives? That's one reason why I advocate so fucking hard and want people to get their pardons so they can come back out into society and in turn help other people buck the fucking system and show them how to effectively navigate in the system despite having felonies. Because this right here is bullshit. It's bullshit to the utmost degree. Because if those fellas want to volunteer to come out here and work doing something else, doing something else other than putting themselves in harm's way by moving dead COVID bodies. Again, I used to live in El Paso. So I'm going to play this video right here for you guys really quick. Go ahead and get this video started.
Y'all to have a doctor tell me we don't come in those COVID rooms. I'm like, what?
This is Lawanna Rivers. She's a traveling nurse. My daughter is also a nurse.
What I experienced this past month there was COVID. I don't know. So of course, I was in El Paso, Texas. For some reason, the doctors there did not aggressively treat those COVID patients as they should have, as I have experienced before. So I saw a lot of people die that I feel like shouldn't have died. Y'all, that assignment there broke me. I was put in what's called a pit. And in this pit was 8 patients, all COVID positive. My first day of orientation, I was told that whatever patients go into the pit,
listen,
they only come out in a body bag. And because they were COVID positive, this hospital's policy was they only get 3 rounds of CPR, which is only 6 minutes. There's out of all the codes that we had there's not a single patient that made it. Y'all, the morgue was so full of bodies that they had ran out of room. So once the doors open to the pit, they come wheeling in a body already in a bag, lined them up with the rest of our alive patients because they had to store the body in there because the morgue was out of room. They've had to bring in freezer trucks. So many bodies. I remember calling a doctor one night, and mind you, we as nurses sit in this pit for 12 hours. The only time that we in full gear, the only time we leave that room is if we go to the bathroom or we go on our 30-minute lunch break. I remember this man bleeding profusely, and I remember calling the doctors that was there. Y'all, to have a doctor tell me we don't come in those COVID rooms, I'm like, what? Y'all, the doctors don't even step foot in those COVID rooms to see those patients. I was there almost a month. I never once saw a doctor come in that room because they were COVID positive. Y'all, I feel like the treatment that those patients there are getting, when I say it did something to me, I literally, the first hour of my drive home, just cried. We as nurses, it's okay for us to be exposed. But you as doctors, you do not even come in there. You can't get exposed, but we can. And y'all making all the money. Okay. Why is Texas not being broadcast like that? Texas has surpassed New York. We had 4 freezer trucks. 4 that had to show up because it was so many people dying. If those doctors there would aggressively treat those patients from the beginning, a lot more would make it. Y'all, and the saddest part about it, my first night there, as I was getting orientated, the nurse that orientated me had one patient that was called the VIP patient. She was a doctor's wife. And when I say they pulled out all the stops for that woman, it wasn't nothing that they didn't do for that woman. And guess what? She was the one patient that made it out of the ICU alive and was able to downgrade to a long-term acute care. So you mean to tell me because she's a doctor's wife, her life meant more than any of those other patients?
All right. So you guys saw that video right there. That was a traveling nurse again. That was Lawanna Rivers. She's a traveling nurse again. Like I said, I went to high school my junior year in El Paso, and the reason why this video hit so home for me because I have a daughter who's an actual nurse who was working inside of a COVID pod. My daughter actually had caught COVID-19. Was really, really, down and out. She's a young female, but she was really down and out. And they told her after the 14 days, they told her that she had to go right back into that pod where those COVID patients were if she wanted to keep her job. Now, if anybody really knows me, who know me, a job come a dime a fucking dozen. We hustle. You make the job don't make you. You understand what I'm saying? Just because you're a nurse, you can create your own avenue with that degree and make your own business. So she ended up leaving that job. But that nurse just reminded me of the conversation I had with my own daughter, just, on how that they're, and I work in behavioral health. So let me just say, I have to go see I can see them through telehealth, through the computer, but some of them I have to physically go and see. And, they're saying and I'm not one of these people who live in fear. Trust me, I definitely do not live in fear. But I also want to be cognitive of the people who might do live in that fear and who might not want me around without a mask and who might, do have a low immune system. So I try to be respectful on that level. But how can you send people out if it's indeed that bad, you can't see my hands, but I'm doing quotation marks. If it's indeed that bad, how can you send people out? And El Paso is huge, guys. If you've ever been to El Paso, as far as land size, it's huge. Now, I know that they built up a lot. You know, like I said, I still have a brother that lives out there right now, but I just cannot conceive. And this is the part they keep saying and mentioning the part about the National Guard, but what they're failing to tell you is that there has not been an actual confirmation if the National Guard is actually going to arrive. So these inmates have been working for $2 an hour since November the 9th, and they're going to see 9 inmates telling you that it started as on a volunteer basis. So I'm sure their loophole is if one of those inmates or any of those 9 inmates catches COVID and die, that they're not going to be liable because they volunteer for the services. Do you see how the system fails us on so many different levels? You are already re-traumatizing some people. And again, there's no judgment and accountability. I'm definitely not negating the fact of whatever they did to get in there, because I've done some things to get in there too. But just because a person is incarcerated, does not mean that they're any less humane. Don't chomp them off. If I tell you I'm hungry, don't throw no fucking Whopper on the ground and stomp your feet on it and then tell me, here go a Whopper. I don't want that type of fucking Whopper. Don't give me no bullshit just because I'm hungry. So I just want you guys to kind of think on that. You know, it's a topic of conversation. How would you like it if your loved ones, we all have someone who's incarcerated. How would you like it if your loved ones, you know, they're already in a volatile situation, being exposed by being, you know, cramped up in close quarters, but then to, you know, to me, dangle or poverty pimp, or, you know, that's the way I think of it, to dangle $2 an hour in front of inmates, people who are already at a disadvantage. To me, that's straight bullshit. So tell me what you guys think about it. Leave a comment, hit the like button, and tell me what you think about this down in the comment section. Again, thanks for tuning in, and I will holler at you guys later. Remember, there's a $500 cash giveaway on December the 15th.